Alrighty, guys, this is a cricket match against Robbie Phillips. This is for the DPFL Super Cup. If you play the DPFL League, you get your league, which is going to be all 501, but you also get entered into the big cricket tournament that they have. So it's really cool because you get to play your weekly matches of 501, and then they got this bracket that runs alongside of it. So just really cool. Not too often I get to play cricket, so it was just cool that they had this. And I looked at the bracket when it first got released, and I saw that I was going to have to play Robbie Phillips. And Robbie Phillips is a phenomenal darts player, so I knew I was going to be in for a battle here. So for this one, I'm just going to do a little bit of commentary with the match and also talk about my week at the Music City Classic, which, yeah, that was about a month ago, but right when I got back, I was really busy, so I haven't had an opportunity to really, do audio on these matches and talk about the Music City Classic, so that's what we're going to do here. And as you can see, I got off to a pretty good start. Not my first throw, but second throw, I was able to get a 9 mark on those 18s, which gave me a pretty big point lead. And then from here, I was able to close the 19s that Robbie had. And this was a best of 11, I think. So very long format for cricket, which is just awesome. You know, these long format cricket matches have potential to be really, really long. We got some more triples there, so I'm feeling really good in this first leg. And spoiler alert, I was not able to hold on to these good darts that I started with. And I won this first leg, and the rest kind of went downhill from here, but, stick around and see how it finished out. But yeah, let's talk about Nashville a little bit. So Thursday night is the blind draw, and I did not shoot great, but I also didn't shoot bad. I felt comfortable, but, I think we got eliminated in the second round. No big deal. Got to bed, woke up Friday, and Friday there was the match play, and then the Pro 501 singles Friday night. I woke up Friday morning, I felt like absolute garbage. I could barely get out of bed. I was not feeling good at all. I'm not too sure why. But yeah, I just didn't feel that good. Maybe I didn't eat enough the night before, but I wasn't feeling good. But thankfully, I woke up about 4 to 5 hours before I had to get to the dart hall. I wasn't able to sleep because I wasn't feeling good, but that gave me some time to just wake up a little bit and just try to feel decent. I spent most of that time just laying in bed, drinking water, hoping that I would just feel a little bit better by the time I got to the dart hall. And when I got there, I started practicing, and physically, I still felt pretty ill, but the darts were flying pretty good. I was changing up my throw a little bit, and I was hitting a lot of triples. I was feeling good, as you can see there. So I had 16s and 15s. Sometimes at this point, I just like to go with the Bullseyes. You can score more points on a Bullseye than you can with the triple 16 or triple 15. Yes, the target is smaller, but also I just like throwing at Bullseyes, hence the name Bullshot Darts. So sometimes I like to throw at those Bullseyes. But anyways, so the darts were feeling good. So I was feeling pretty confident going into the first match play. And then I got the board call, and I saw that I was playing Jason Watt. And I don't think I've beaten Jason Watt in a singles event. We've played quite a bit, too, because he comes here for the Dart Players Chicago quite often. So we've played, a decent amount of times, and I have not been able to beat him yet. So mentally, that got to me a little bit. And then the match started. I don't remember what happened on the Bullseye, but I had a couple 180s and some good scoring in the beginning. And then I just could not hit a double to save my life. And then by the third leg or so, my darts just took a complete dump. I think I ended the match in the low 60s. It was not pretty at all. And yeah, so I was just very frustrated after that match because, I hate when I throw really good in warm-ups. I feel good. And the second they make the board calls and I start playing competitively, my darts just take a dump. That is one of the worst feelings because you get your confidence up and then you start throwing bad. And then it just starts to mess with you mentally. And then it's hard to recover from that. And on top of the struggles that I've been having this year, when I do start struggling a little bit, it just hurts me that much more. And that's what kind of showed in this darts match too, because I started off strong and, I had a couple bad rounds. Robbie started throwing really good, hitting a lot of triples, and it just messed with me mentally, and I could not keep up. So Jason Watt ended up beating me in the first round of the match play. And I was going to stick around for the 501 Pro shoot. That was the plan. But I was so frustrated with myself. I just needed to get out of the dart hall. I just had to get out of there. I wasn't in a good spot mentally for throwing darts. And I was like, all right, Nick, leave, enjoy the night, have some fun, go to downtown Nashville, with Mrs. Bullshot, have some fun. And, get to bed early and then wake up early Saturday, ready for the other singles and doubles events. So we got out to downtown Nashville pretty early, and it actually ended up working out pretty good because I gave Mrs. Bullshot a ring. So Mrs. Bullshot is now that much closer to being official. So we got engaged right when we got to downtown. We went to this little spot. She didn't know it was coming. We went to this little spot down by the river. If you're familiar with downtown Nashville at all, there's a little river, and then Nissan Stadium is across the river. It's just a nice little spot. We always go hang out there, every time we go to Nashville. So we went out there. I set up the camera, pretending I was going to take a picture, clicked record, and then that happened. So at that point, now my mental, what am I trying to say here? I wasn't in a good place mentally because of the darts, but, right when we got downtown and that happened, my mind just got cleared. I had a good clear head for the rest of the night. We went to a couple bars in the downtown area. We went to the Old Smoky Distillery. That was a lot of fun. We just did a lot of walking around and hanging out. We got home and I was able to get to bed early. So, yeah, I was just getting ready for Saturday and Sunday. And actually, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here because Friday, actually, when we were out, I got a text message from my doubles partner saying that he had to go home because he was having some personal stuff back at home, so he had to leave. So now I was in a position where I had to find a doubles partner too. But honestly, I wasn't even upset about it. One, because he had to go home because there was some stuff he had to take care of. But two, I was just struggling so much mentally. It almost got to the point to where I was going to feel bad for my partner because I just didn't know if I was going to be able to bring out my darts that I know I should be throwing. And in a double situation, it's like, you have that added pressure of not letting down your partner. So when he let me know that, it was almost kind of like a relief because it was like, okay, well, one, I just don't really have that pressure now. And two, well, actually, there was no two. It's just one. So Friday night on the way home, we actually stopped back at the dart hall and just kind of walking around, seeing if, I could find a doubles partner. And it was actually really funny because I'm looking around for a partner. And I'm talking to some people, and someone says, hey, you know what? Danny Pace is actually walking around looking for a partner, too. And long story short, I was friends with Danny Pace back when I lived in Denver, 5 or 6 years ago. So we played darts. We have never played doubles together, but we were in the same dart scene for the first 4 years of me throwing darts. So it actually was pretty funny because we ended up hooking up and we played the doubles on Sunday. We played doubles cricket. I could not find a partner for doubles 501, which, like I said, I really not even that upset about it because my darts were struggling, and it was my 01 especially that's struggling. It's the doubles. My cricket game has actually been decent. You wouldn't think that after watching this match, though, because I definitely did struggle a little bit here. As you can see, I got whooped pretty good in that one. I didn't even get any marks on the 20s, 19s, or 18s, but so I ended up playing with Danny Pace on Sunday. Now, let's get back to Saturday now. So I wake up, I got double or singles 501, and honestly, I have no recollection of what happened in my singles 501. yeah, I couldn't even tell you what happened in there, whether the darts were good, bad, how many wins or loss. Well, I only had one loss because you can only lose once. But so Saturday, complete blur to me. We go back downtown, just, have some fun down there. Sunday rolls around, and this is the day I'm looking most forward to because it is cricket. My cricket game, most of my practice has been cricket lately because I've been struggling to have fun playing darts, and playing cricket I've been having a lot of fun doing. So a lot of my practice has been cricket focused and doubles cricket. So me and Danny Pace are playing together. We got past a couple tough rounds, and then we ran into Danny Lauby, and I think his partner was Jim Whitmire. This was like a month ago, so I'm struggling remembering some of these details. But, it was a match that we knew that we were going to have to show up and throw big darts to get the win. And the first leg, we did just that. We threw very solid. And yes, Danny Lauby and Jim Whitmire didn't throw their best darts, but still, we threw solid and we got the win. So now we just need one more win to get past them. And long story short, Danny Lauby said, nope, I'm not losing anymore. And he started hitting a lot of triples. Jim Whitmire did the same thing. So we could not keep up, and we ended up losing there. But I did gain some confidence, and we did throw good together, and it was fun because, like I said, the way me and Danny Pace got partnered up with this last-minute thing where we'd never thrown doubles together living in Denver for like 4 years at the same time. So, I was just really excited going into the singles. So now singles starts up, and I have Joe Cheney in the first round of singles. So similar to this tournament right here where I had Robbie Phillips first, and I knew I was going to have to show up. Now I see that I have to play Joe Cheney in the first round, so same thing. Like, I'm feeling good, and I know I'm going to have to turn up big to beat him. And I really love Joe Cheney. Whenever I see him around, it's always nice to see him around. But one thing about Joe Cheney is that he was the first, I would say, like, top-tier darts player that reached out to me back when I was first in the game of darts. I was at the Colorado Open back in, like, maybe 2016. It was my first time ever going to a really big darts tournament. And long story short, me and my partner played him and his partner in doubles. And after the event, he, took the time to reach out to me. Like, he came up to me. And now, granted, this is the first time I was ever at a big darts tournament. I didn't know any big dart players. I didn't know anyone outside of, like, Larry Butler, Darin Young. And that's pretty much it. So when he reached out to me, I didn't even know that he was a top tier guy. And at the time, he was number one in ADO. So anyways, he took the time to come out and talk to me, which, was awesome. And, he just gave me just some positive words. He could tell that I was a new dart player and, wanting to get better and compete at a high level. So, he took the time out to talk to me and just give me some words of encouragement. So, I'll always be thankful for that because, he was the first big time player to ever, say anything to me. So it was just really cool and, helped inspire me to get better and motivate me to get better. So I played him in the first round and we had a battle. I think we both threw over a 4 or maybe it was high 3s. I don't remember, but it was a battle and I got past him. And once again, here we go. I'm feeling good. The darts are hitting. So my next round or two, I got past. And then I had a top, I think it might have been a top 16 match. I don't remember, but we ended up getting put in the side room, and we were the only match going on in there, so it was really quiet. Okay? Now, I don't say any names because I'm not the kind of person to come on here and start any drama and, say names and all this stuff, but the person I was playing was making a lot of noise during our darts match. After all of his throws, he was just talking to himself, not quietly, like with a decent amount of volume, just talking crap to himself because he wasn't throwing that good. Almost every single time that he threw, at one point, when he was going to retrieve his darts, he pulled the dart out of the board and literally just threw it behind him. it landed back by the tables where people sit. So it didn't really necessarily get to my head that he was doing those things, but it got to my head because I just felt so uncomfortable just being around him. Like, I didn't want to be associated with this guy at all, and I just wanted to get out of the situation as quick as possible. So it just made me feel super uncomfortable. And then, since this was the side room, they started tearing down the boards during our match. And once again, he's already making all this noise. And then I'm not going to repeat the words he said because, I mean, the video could get banned or I don't know. But he said something about the tournament directors. And, like, at that point, now I'm just like, okay, I really need to get out of here because, you know, I'm thankful for all tournament directors and everything because, you know, they give us the opportunity to play darts. And now he's talking smack about the tournament directors. They heard him. People came and started watching our match because, and by people, I mean the tournament directors. So I ended up losing the match, and I was just really upset about that because I was actually feeling really good. And then something way out of my control, you know, his actions is what threw me off big time, and I ended up losing the match. Now, I don't know what would have happened after that match, but I'm not saying I would have gone on and won the whole thing or anything, but I would have liked to see how the event went, you know, had that not happened because, you know, I was feeling good. I was hoping I could have kept it going. But anyways, I ended up losing, and that was the end of the weekend. So, you know, with that being said, I think I might start wearing headphones at these little tournaments that don't have a dress code because this isn't the first time, and it definitely won't be the last time that I've experienced dart players that, you know, were just making a ton of noise and all this stuff. And I've always been one to say don't throw with headphones because in a tournament with dress codes, you cannot wear them. But for these smaller tournaments that don't have dress codes, I mean, I would much rather have some headphones in and not have to worry about people's crazy actions trying to throw me off and throwing me off. Now, I should be a better dart player. I should be able to perform while people are doing this. But like I said, it wasn't necessarily the actions that threw me off. It was the fact that it made me feel so uncomfortable, and I just wanted to get out of that area as quick as possible because I just wanted zero association with him. So I just wanted to get away from him. But anyway, so that's how my weekend in Nashville ended. After that, you know, me and Mrs. Bullshot, we drove straight out to Denver. We spent some nights with my grandma out there. And then we spent about 5 days in Denver. I went to the local blind draw that I always used to go to when I lived out there. So I got to see all my old friends. It was absolutely incredible. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That was our vacation. The Music City Classic, then headed out to Denver and just had a lot of fun out there. You know, I could make an hour-long video talking about everything we did in Denver and stuff, but, you know, it's not very darts related, so. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. So that was my Nashville tournament. The darts, you know, still very inconsistent, basically. I guess put it that way. When I'm feeling on, I feel really good, and I feel like my old days where, you know, I just have a lot of confidence. But once they start being a little bit down, that is where I am struggling a lot to get past that. The second I throw a couple bad darts, it just messes with me mentally, and I'm having a hard time recovering. You know, I always preach all the time, like, you have to be confident. Every single dart you throw, you have to show confidence and all this stuff. And, you know, I still live by that, but I also always say it is easier said than done. I understand that it's a struggle to always have confidence in your darts, and that is something I am struggling with right now. My biggest thing, it's coming down to the doubles. You know, sometimes I'll put together some big outs, but as far as my consistency of hitting the doubles, that's been a killer. I can't tell you how many times I approached the board with 3 darts in hand at a 1 dart out, and I missed them. And then that is where it starts, you know, settling in my mindset. It's like, okay, well, I just missed 3 darts at the double. Like, what the heck's going on? And then I do it again. And then one thing I've been doing a lot is busting when I have a double. So I've been hitting the 13 a lot, going for that double 4. Yeah, so things you just cannot do and expect to win darts matches. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, with that subscribe button. I highly doubt anyone is even watching at this point of the video. If you're still watching at this point of the video, drop a comment down below. Talk about, let's see, leave a comment of the craziest thing that you have had your opponent do during your darts match. And my story that I gave today is far from the craziest thing that I've had an opponent do. One day I'll make a video about that. Once again, I would never say anyone's names on here or anything, but they are some funny stories. I've been challenged in the bathroom to a darts match. That was an interesting one. Dart players, geez, just causing fights in the middle of darts matches. Yeah, good stuff, guys. We're going to finish this up. We got, a minute and a half here. You guys are probably sick of hearing me talking if you made it this far. But hopefully Robbie Phillips goes on. I haven't seen Robbie around that much lately. Him and his brother are really great dart players. I don't know if Robbie is still consistently traveling for darts. But I feel like I have not seen him in a while. But I think he said that he was traveling overseas for darts coming up. I don't know, but yeah, hopefully we'll see him around more, because he's definitely a player that can have his tour card and thrive in the CDC. I don't know if that's even a goal of his, but all right, there you go, guys. As you can see, I won the first leg. Was happy about it. Then I proceeded to lose 7 straight. Thank you so much for watching, guys. BullshotDarts.com for Bullshot Apparel. Magicwear.com for Bullshot Darts jerseys. I'll see you guys in the next one, and shoot well.